All right. What is up, all these warriors coming in here? I'm excited. Welcome to day one. So, Crown and Shield, we're going to start it up here. So, to give you guys a little bit of feedback on my game plan and what this looks like for Crown and Shield, I will start off each training. I will give you guys a new perspective, new thought, new training. I will be training with you guys. I will be sharing things with you guys too. I am working on how I'm going to figure out how to give you guys access to this. Right now, to buy access to my program, which is set up like this, where you can see all the trainings that I created for you guys. These are all the trainings that we're going to go through, and we're going to go through one at a time. There's a lot of information I put together for you guys. And so what I'm going to do is train first, and then we'll talk after. Today, we're going to go in to the greatest ability. That's what today is going to be. I'm going to teach you guys a very, very powerful training today to get us started. First, I teach, then we're going to get into, questions or what to do. I will also make this. So I think there's going to be a way I'm going to make it so you guys can get this. This is normally $1,900 just to buy the program without anybody working with you guys. I think I'm going to make it so you guys can either get it for less, so you guys can have it for yourself, or keep it at 1900 and then I'll give you a shield mate, somebody who mentors you and walks you through on your own. There's options I'm going to be creating and looking into to make it so you guys have as much support and access to this, and make it so like just a fighting chance. If you guys can do it, great. If you can't, I'm going to go through each thing every week. So I'm setting the standard for what is the idea. Now, Chris, you got my co-host. Anybody who comes in, just watch to let them in. Appreciate you very much. And I'm going to get started, fellas. So to start this off with, there's a few concepts that I want to be able to make sure I get into. And first, I want to share the idea of why the moment is so important. Why is this such a big deal? So, our greatest ability that we have, and this is the reason I wrote my very first book, is our greatest ability that we have. And I'm not playing the videos, guys, even though this is the funniest. This is the funniest screen like lock here. I just left it here like this. I loved it. If you guys want access to this, I'll make it so you guys have an option. I want to share the purpose of the entire thing and the reason that this is one of my favorite things and why I wrote the first book, Everything is a Choice. It's something that I realized and I learned that in the moment that we can change everything. And that takes us sometimes years to arrive at the moment, but in that one very moment, in the moment that it happens, everything changes. Now, for some of you guys, and you guys can put in the chat too, if you guys have ever hit a rock bottom moment, like a moment where, like, man, all the stuff I've been doing isn't working. Just put like a yes or, one, whatever, just a yes. I've hit rock bottom. I know what that feels like to hit the wall and go, damn, everything I'm doing isn't working. And I'm going to share the reason why I came up with this philosophy on my own, aside from reading that's been talked about for thousands of years. Um, I remember as a young man, I grew up in a very hostile home. I grew up in inner city Detroit, not a good place at all, not good. My household was very abusive. My mom left when I was in fifth grade for years. My dad left for 3 years when I was a little kid. I'm used to just parents just bailing on me. Extremely abusive household. There was alcohol. There's all kinds of problems, and a lot of you guys can relate to this stuff. My dad was a sociopath back in the day, so that would be high abuse. I was the firstborn son, so most of the physical aggression and physical abuse was taken out on me. If anybody in here has burn marks or used to have to wear long sleeves to school, you guys can relate with me on this one. In which case, I was taught to be a fucking lunatic. I was taught from a young age, if you don't like things, you fucking punch them in the face. If you don't like it, you break it. If you don't like it, you do something very violent and mean. You get mean. And that was the house I grew up in, and that was the environment I grew up in. I remember I had a high school sweetheart. She was a super nice girl, very nice. She was way nicer than I ever deserved. I was a total asshole. And I had a good girl, and I was not a good guy. I was a bad dude. And I remember we were in the car and we were arguing. It was something so semantically foolish that the argument itself, I don't remember. But I remember getting mad. And when you get mad, you break things. And so I got mad and I punched my car window and I shattered the window. And for those of you guys who know car windows, they're not easy to break. And I shattered the shit. I blew this thing to pieces. And she was in the front seat and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't be with someone like this. Oh my God." And she got out of the car and she starts crying because she's scared, because that's a scary moment. And when she was crying, I remember I got out of the car. And when I got out of the car, I just stood there. And if any of you ever punched glass before, it's a stupid idea, by the way. I had blood all down my arm. There's glass. My own fucking car is broken. So I got glass all over the ground. And I'm sitting there in this moment and I see just sparkling glass, blood down my arm, tears hitting the ground from her. And I sat there and I'm like, this is everything that I was taught to be. This is everything that I was taught to be since I was born, since I was a little kid. This is what I was taught to be. I was taught to be this. I was taught to be aggressively mean, abusive, make people you love cry. I was taught to hurt people. I was taught this way. And I looked at myself in the moment. I had that introspective rock bottom moment, like going, I'm never going to be this guy again. I'm done ever doing anything like this. This is not the man I want to be. And in that very moment, in that 1 second, I denounced all of my training from my father. I denounced all the training I'd been exposed to at that point. I said, fuck this. I will not be this guy. I don't know what the right way to do is. I just know I won't ever be this. This is not the guy I want to be. And in that moment, if I can change my entire belief system, I was like early 20s, like 19, 20 years old. At that point, 20 years of programming, everything I've ever known, I can denounce that in 1 second. What am I not able to do? I just erased everything that I know to say that's not true. Something else must be true. If I can do that in 1 second, if I can have a rock bottom moment and everything changes, well, wouldn't that apply to anything then? Simple decisions? Wouldn't that apply to, I can just choose to change things at a whim? This is where I got into the idea and understanding, like, man, maybe everything is a choice. Maybe you really do get to pick. In which case it gets into the ideas too, where you can choose things. I can choose to let go of pain from other people. I can hold on to that, or I can let go of that. I can choose. I can let go of my vices and my sins, or I can hold on to them. I can break the hold of the curses that were put on me, which is what I did with my family. I said, I'm not going to be this guy ever again. Or I can choose to hold on to it and use justifications like the way I was always raised and the way my parents did it, like that somehow is good training. You can start all over whenever you want. You can accept things that have already happened. You can give grace or accept grace. You can choose to be authentic to yourself instead of being some fake persona. You can allow yourself to live or love, hope, believe, trust. You can fight for things you believe in and forgive. Or you can choose to hate or lust, loathe, hurt people, destroy, be prideful and selfish. You can choose that too. You can give yourself to something greater than you and choose that you're not the center of the universe and there's something worth fighting for, a purpose that's bigger than yourself. But you are always a decision away from either ruining everything or creating something incredible. The moment you could just choose. What are the choice? We are the choice. We are the choice. We are the free will to embrace or deny. We are the worthy or nothing. We are hopeful or we are apathetic. We are a giver or a taker. We are a decision away from happiness or depression. We are more or we are less, and all just one decision from changing to the other. We are what we choose to believe, so choose with intention. So be aware of your power because it's incredible what choice is. It's one of the greatest abilities that we have is we can choose how to handle something. We can choose in any moment. We can just decide that. Free will and choice is one of the most powerful things that we have at our disposal. It's one of the things that separates us from the animals, if you will. We can make long-term decisions. We can actually take time to process things and then take a break, run it by our guys, and then choose differently. We can choose at any moment. Anything you don't like, you can start to choose something different. You can at any moment just change it. It's amazing if you give yourself the awareness of going, damn, I can just choose to do things differently. I can choose, I don't agree with you. I can choose that I won't follow that idea. I can choose authenticity. I can choose to get rid of a belief system that doesn't serve me. Anybody who's ever hit rock bottom before knows that in that moment, whatever I used to do, I choose, I do not do it anymore. Everything changes from that very second that you go, I'm done doing that. I'm done. It doesn't matter what it is. I've seen guys have health issues and then they hit some diagnosis. I've seen guys who hit 400, 500 pounds, and then they had some event that was so embarrassing that they said, I'm never doing that again. They lose like 300 pounds. They become highly motivated. Why? Because they hit a rock bottom moment. I hit that in my relationship. I'm not going to be that guy. And in that moment, from that moment on, I stopped working on anything that would resemble abusive man. I don't want to be an abusive man, so I'm not going to do that anymore. We can have these moments in every category. So really think about the decisions that you make, because every choice that we make matters. Every single decision leads us down paths. Every single thing that we're doing will reveal us to ourselves. And it shows us that we're going to be going on a path. This first week, we're going to be getting into a lot of default programs. These first few weeks, we're going to be getting into a lot of default programming. How much do you know about yourself? Do you see your autopilot behavior? We're going to be repeating this a lot. You guys, we make almost at least 10,000 decisions a day. You're like, I don't think I make that many. I'm like, well, it's little ones, like scratch my face, pick your butt, uh, you know, touch something, pick something up, what you eat, what you drink, what cup do you use? All of these decisions, they happen all day, every day. What shirt to wear, put my shoes on or not, whatever. You make these choices all day. Most of them are on autopilot. We don't even think about it. We just do shit. And a lot of it is programmed into us. And most of our default programming, we didn't even choose most of it. It just was put upon us by a parent or by somebody else to say, here's how you should be. Us warriors, and now my kings, we're going to be pushing against all beliefs to challenge to see, is it true for me? Or was this imposed on me by somebody else? We're going to be challenging everything. And that's what this first week's course is going to be really focusing on us getting into. Do you know yourself? So that way we can start making better choices. Now, warriors, I want to throw something up here. I want to throw an idea, a belief system that I want us to challenge, something that I want to change the choice that we do. I want to change today's narrative. I'm going to do a challenge directly against the narrative of today. One of the narratives I've seen that I want us to directly go against as men, one of the narratives is strength is bad. Being a strong, confident man, that's bad. Has anybody heard anything like this? Anybody seen anything that's like pushes this narrative that if you're strong or aggressive, that you're not good? Has anybody heard anything like this?
That's just toxic masculinity.
Good, Greg. Like it just, yeah, these
Yes, heard
toxic
it.
masculinity. You're toxic. You're bad. You're bad guys do that. I'm going to directly challenge this openly. When in history was strength not exonerated? When was being strong of heart and strong passionately? And that guy's got he's a big-hearted, passionate. He's got dreams. He's got goals. When is that bad, right? Or what about a guy strong of mind, strong of will? He keeps his composure. He's strategic. He makes good plans. He shows up. He's solid. He's stoic, right? But a guy strong with his faith and he has deep beliefs and he fights for what he believes in. What about strong, like physically strong? And how many of you guys have been around a guy who's just fucking strong and you're like, damn, that guy's fucking, I respect the shit out of that. That guy could fucking pick up a car. I mean, anybody who's been around Perry or some of our strong men, you're like, dude, this guy deadlifts fucking 1,200 pounds. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's crazy, right? We as men respect strength of all categories: mind, heart, body, spirit. And yet today we are told that we are supposed to be weak to be loved. You're not supposed to be physically strong. You're not supposed to be mentally strong. You're not supposed to have emotions or be emotionally intelligent or strong. And you're not supposed to be faith strong. You're supposed to have her or something else be your God, and you worship that. You do not have something greater than yourself you believe in, whatever that may be for you. I'm going to go directly against this. I believe in every category, strength is a choice. And we highly respect strength. If any of you want to have a stronger body, what do you think you guys have to do? You work out. You guys know what to fucking do. If any of you want to have a stronger mind, where would you begin to go? How do I work out my mind? What should I do? Right? Listen to people wiser than me. I read more books, I get information, and then I challenge the information for, does this actually hold up or not? I will do mind workouts, right? What about heart workouts? Because most of you guys, I don't even think you'd know what a heart workout was if you showed up to the room and we were doing it. You'd be like, well, I don't understand. How many of you guys have had to repress your heart and push your heart down because people blame, shame, and judge you for having a heart? If you're emotional, you're bad, right? If you cry, you're a pussy, right? These judgments that people put upon us. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. We've had to suppress our hearts just to not be rejected, thrown in the garbage, or judged. You're weak. You're weak, weak, weak. Those are the judgments. So don't have a heart is strong. Fucking wrong, guys. I'm telling you, having a fire in your soul and loving someone deeply, that is not weakness. That is not weakness. What about having faith in something more? Not having to hold the weight of everything that exists on your shoulders and knowing that there is something better for you. I have something that has my back, something much bigger than me that has my back. I'll tell you right now, I do not have fear, fellas. If you are strong of faith, anxiety is impossible. If you're strong of faith, the depression is it's really difficult to really hold on to, because you know there is purpose. You know there's something more. And when you're strong of faith, you will find your purpose. These are not weak things. These are not weak things. Having confidence is not weakness. Standing up for things that you believe in is not weakness. Being disagreeable is not weakness. Yet today you are told that you should choose to make yourself less because that will get you more love. How many of my nice guys have made themselves less and gotten more love for it? Yeah. Anybody here getting more love by making yourself smaller, weaker, higher pitched, apologizing all the time, whatever anybody tells you to do? Get in the back of the fucking bus and shut the fuck up, and that makes you get more love. Yeah. How many of you want your victimhood to be the reason somebody loves you? How many of you want people to love you because they pity you? Anybody here want to be loved for being pitied? I want sympathy love. Anybody want that? Guys, for real. Anybody feel sorry for me? That'll make you love me. No? You guys don't want that? And yet somehow that's today's fucking narrative. People lean into people who are strong, not just big muscles, guys. I'm talking about strong minded, strong heart, strong soul, strong body, strong balance. Find who you really are. But you guys can start training these things right now. You guys can do a 20-minute workout today. Just go do that. How many times should you do that? Every day. Take 20 fucking minutes a day and make yourself physically stronger. Then take 20 minutes and read something you didn't read before. Then take another 20 minutes. You take 1 hour a day, you can get yourself fucking solid. Do your prayers, do a meditation, write some shit out. Like, it doesn't take that long, guys. Why don't you just wake up a little earlier and use the hour nobody wants, and now you just became tougher in every category. Hanging out with guys like in these kinds of groups and hanging out in these kinds of conversations makes it so your thought process through the day is now different. And hanging out in a community of people who believe in each other makes it so your strength is again exonerated. It is respected that you are strong again. It's an honorable thing to be a good protector for your people. It's an honorable thing to be a man who stands for what he believes in and has his family's best interest at heart and doesn't just do what everyone tells him to do. There is a belief system here in what I do with the Warriors Way, and I'm bringing in with the King's community, is that it is important for us as leaders to have a belief system and choose non-conformity. There's a reason that I'm doing this. This was Earl Nightingale. He said this years ago, 50 years ago. He was doing a speech and he said, the opposite of courage in today's society is not cowardice, it's conformity. If you want to become invisible, conform. Just do what everyone else is doing. Don't dream. Don't fight. Don't stand up. Don't disagree. Go do what everyone tells you to do and question nothing. Challenge nothing. Just be another one of the chickens in the chicken coop. Don't ever dream of flying. The opposite of courage today is not being a coward. It's conform. And I'm putting down this belief system for you guys to challenge because you guys have to choose every day. Will you make yourself less or are you going to make yourself more? You get to choose every single day. There are 10,000 choices, and all you need is 6 or 7 of them to be, I will make myself stronger today. Mind, heart, body, spirit. I will make myself a little stronger today than I was yesterday. And I will tell you, this is a man people respect. This is a man when people look and they size you up and they go, he's stoic, he's very intelligent, he's big-hearted and open and confident with his heart. He has strong faith, strong values, and he's difficult to deal with physically. He's imposing. He seems tough. He seems capable, competent. People respect those guys. They respect a man who's like that. You guys, those are just choices. It's just choices. Did you work out or did you eat well today? That's a choice. Did you write out your thoughts and did you work through something today? That's a choice. Did you work on something you're passionate about? Are you finding something in you that's important or valuable to you? These are decisions. Did you choose that or not? Did you choose to look at the people you love and have an open heart and go, I fucking love you? How many times, when's the last time some of you looked at someone who's in your family and just like told them, I fucking really deeply love you. You're very important to me. When have you guys have the courage to open your heart up to somebody and tell them vulnerably how much you are proud of them or how much you believe in them or how grateful and appreciative you are to have them right there with you? Some of you are afraid to even give these compliments. Strong heart. I hope I'm showing you guys to push against this narrative is not to make yourself less so other people win more. We do not have to conform to being losers so we get love, because you are loved far more for being disagreeable and standing up for what you believe is right and protecting people who won't stand up for themselves, like your children, or it could be your wife. You take on the hard stuff. And this is the choice. It's our greatest ability. It's the most powerful fucking thing you have in your arsenal, is I get to choose today what I'm going to do, and I get to choose how I'm going to handle this. That's why this is a powerful understanding. This is why it's powerful. It takes just a second to change everything. You can start a routine today that changes your whole life. You can just choose that any moment. You can just choose that. So simple, right? But I think you guys forget simplicity is genius. You guys want it to be complicated? That's why you're here right now, is you overcomplicate simple things. You keep trying to do more instead of trying to do less better. Every single thing Every single choice, every choice is simple. Please don't confuse simple with easy. Every choice is simple. It doesn't mean easy. We complicate all of the choices. When you understand how powerful this ability is, getting it down to the choice is going to be the purpose of every training that I'm doing with you guys over the next year. Every training that I do will be getting you to the choice. Are you going to keep it or are you going to get rid of it? Is that yours or is that not yours? Are you going to stay or are you going to go? Are you going to build it or are you going to abandon it? You get to pick. Everything comes down to the choice. All of it. And I'm excited to get you guys to figure out how to train to find the choices on your own. So that way you can also teach your kids and teach your family. Do you see the choice? And we are confident that we can handle whatever comes next from this choice. We got this. It's good leadership, good awareness, good practice, and it makes you strong. Challenging the narrative. Together, we're fucking unbeatable, fellas. You put a problem in this room, I bet you we figure that shit out. If you give this room of men a problem, I bet you we figure out a solution that makes sense. We got a lot of talent in this room, a lot of fucking strong men in here. Each one of us has a different side too. Mind, heart, body, spirit. Each one is fucking valuable, you guys. But you can work on all of them. Each one is a skill, practice, competency. And yet today they tell you, do not try, do not practice, because you will not be controllable. We're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be controllable. You do what is right, not who is right. That's the choice. From this moment, I'm going to open it up. I want to hear your points of view. I want to hear something from you guys, whether it be to challenge this notion, which again, remember rule number 7, challenge everything, even me. If I am saying something that doesn't make sense, please ask why is that? If there's a way to make things better, we will. This is not a dictatorship. This is us trying to grow as men. And so if there's something where you're like, how does it work? Or how do I apply? Now, I will give you a caveat. If your question is going to be answered in a future training, I will say that's in one of the future trainings. So some of your questions, which are good questions, will be answered in another training because I do have a full course that I'm going to be going through with you guys. Okay. All right. Any questions on this choice concept? I know it's simple, but this is also the reason our lives are the way they are. The choices that you have made have created the outcome that you exist in right now. Ever since you were a teenager, every choice that you've made has led to where you're at. It's led to the way your relationships are. It's led to the way you look. It's led to the way that you think. It's led to the way that you have your job. It's led to the finances you have. It's led to your dreams that you either have abandoned or you're building. Everything that you have right now is a result of all of the choices that you've made. So let's get into it. Look at you, Casper. Fuck, I'm excited to see your artwork too, bro. It's awesome. Noel, what do you got, Neo?
All right. I think it's great. This idea of it's simple. It's a simple decision. It's a simple choice. I'm gearing up for final battle next week. And for me, I've been on a 6-year journey of really digging out core wounds and trauma timelines and trying to just heal, right? And go from surviving to thriving. And it's interesting because the final battle for me is that I want to stake my claim. I want to transition from being somebody in need of help to then no longer needing the help and just making that decision to
What's the belief that you have to battle? What's the belief that like I have to be one way instead of another. There's a sentence in there that's the belief. Have you identified it?
Basically, it's the concept that you still have more work to do. You still need to dig it out. You still need to, and
That's not a belief that's gonna make it so you don't take charge. Because like it's okay to be growing. We're always growing. I still have more. I did my classes and stuff in my work this morning too. I wrote out 2 pages this morning on a whole bunch of stuff that I'm still researching and learning too. We're always growing, bro.
yeah, no, there's going to be a constant revealing more, but it's this feeling of desperation or this feeling of you're not going to get it. You know,
Ah,
you need to do more than what you're doing instead of recognizing, no, I'm actually doing a lot and I can give myself credit for a lot more than I've been doing, and it's time
no
to put it into action.
awareness challenge. Which enemy within is that?
Well, it's doubt, isn't it?
Hell yeah, it is. Now you see who you're fighting. Go fight doubt in your final battle. And Chris and I have killed doubt so many times. We smile when doubt shows up to the party.
It's interesting. It's almost like I'm looking for permission to be.
Cool. From who?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it from you or is it from us? We'll give it to you. You can be. Hey, anybody else want to give Noel permission to be himself? Anybody cool with that? Yeah, we got a lot of
Okay, man.
permission, bro. So permission from who? Because all of your warriors and your kings are in your corner saying you got permission. Who's it for? Who do you need it from?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's
We
the thing
believe
I
in
was
you.
going
We're
to
waiting to
bring.
see which doubt thing is trying to write out the doubt sentences, and we'll show you how quickly those are able to be killed. Once you know their weak spot, very easy to kill. And just so you guys know, doubt is part of this curriculum. We will teach you how to fight it. Noel's in Spartan training. And so he's talking about he's on final battle as Spartan training. That's how you graduate, is you have to kill something. In which case he's going head to head with doubt itself. Exciting fight. That was the one that was the fight that helped me build my first program. Was I had to go head to head against doubt and win. I'll show you how to do it. It has a very big weak spot. Good awareness, Noel. Good awareness. All right, Mark, what do you got, brother?
Just the realization recently that I choose to start my days off the same way every day. I have plenty of plenty of distractions to you know that it's a constant thing, but that I get up and I rub on my dog, I feed him, I feed myself, I if I need to, I shower, I get my shit together, and I like I have like a solid baseline, which is awesome. Like
Your
that's a
routine. Yeah, it's your
yeah, my
routine.
routine is solid. But I feel like everything I do after that, I'm distracting myself from what's really on my mind.
Like
And
what? Give me one of your distractions that you know. Is it like social media or watching a bunch of boobies bounce around? Like, what are you doing? What's the
yeah, I
distraction?
mean, yeah, I distract myself with social media for sure.
Cool.
And I mean, work is a distraction. But yeah, it's like, um,
If you like routine, what's one thing you would exchange? What's one thing you would choose over another? So instead of social media, I'm going to get a book. And while I'm
right,
eating my breakfast, I'm just going to read like 3 or 4 pages and then maybe write about it. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to read huge chapters or nothing. Just read like 2 or 3 pages and just go, let me think about those pages and just do that every day.
Well, and
Like
that's part of
simple.
my end of day routine that I've started doing just in the last week is I picked up a copy of Atomic Habits, and I read for 20 minutes a night
It's a good
before I
one.
go to bed.
Well, let's
And
switch it. Let's start off your day right.
right.
I mean, you can still do it at nighttime. There's no harm in reading more. But why not just take one of the distractions that you use that makes it so you're not growing and just take that exact same time and just swap one thing. Damn,
Gotcha.
Casper, you're strong as fuck, kid. But just take one thing, and just swap it just a little bit, just a little. Everything changes. Everything
Yeah.
changes. You swap one little thing and then it starts getting a little, and make that part of your new routine, man. Take Atomic Habits and just put the phone down and just read your pages. And I have my notebook with me because it takes me forever to get through books, Mark, because I'll read something and then something will trigger and then I'll write more pages than I read.
Nice.
It takes me for fucking ever to get through books because like I do so much processing, and that's why we write it, then we fight it. Whenever I'm reading, even this morning, I only got through 15 minutes of my class and wrote 2 pages. Like I grabbed a couple pieces and I'm like, I got to process this out. And then I wrote out my version of how I process what that is and how I use it. It takes
Yeah.
forever. Well,
When I
that's
got,
okay. It's part of my routine.
yeah, I got just a new, I guess I did that this morning. I tweaked it just that much this morning, and that was I wrote a full page front and back um, in my journal. So uh, just on the shit that was on my mind, you know.
Hell yeah, dude. Mark, you're recognizing your awareness is rising to your routines and choices, but you're just small tweaks away from big, big results. Good job, dude. Way to start going, damn, I see that. My default program, I see that I do this routine, but then I go right into what I know is my cognitive dissonance now, my bullshit. I know I don't need to be doing this. I know this is taking me away from my goals. I know this is me bullshitting.
Yeah.
In the time that I was doom scrolling, I could have done push-ups and squats. All you need is a floor. They're everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, it's subtle reminders of like the things that I've done in my past and what I am capable of is like that's all I really need right now.
Yeah.
But it's
What do you think
yeah,
about
it's
being
difficult
strong,
sometimes.
Mark? Is being strong good or bad?
I think it's a good thing for sure.
What do you want to do to be stronger in all categories? What do you want to do?
I want to be able to uh, s- just stand my own ground and feel good about who I am.
Yeah, confident,
Uh,
right?
yep, have
Yeah.
confidence and be able to help the people that are in my life and be able to enjoy doing the things that I love to do.
Well, there's options there. What about how do you express how much you care about people?
Yeah. Well, and a big thing recently is like I want to be able to not like you mentioned a few times just in the last couple of days, like you know, pitching high and you know getting angry and shit like that. Like I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
It's
yeah,
close
like
enough.
I see that in myself. I mean, I think everybody does it, right? It's like, but I did it in the last week, you know, and
Hmm.
it's like I chewed somebody's ass and it it wasn't how I wanted to be conveyed, you know. I didn't want to come off that way.
Good. Did you
Um,
did you learn from that interaction? Did you have your moment where you're like, I don't want to be that guy?
yeah, totally.
That's what it was for.
Yep.
You had to have that moment to go, damn, that's who I am. Remember, we talk about Epictetus Compass, and that's going to be one of the trainings. That the circumstances, that's not what defines you. It'll reveal you to yourself. And you just had an outburst moment where somebody else became your master. They controlled you. They made you mad. And that shows you're a servant. You're not a leader. You
Yep.
became mad because somebody made you do it. That's
Yeah.
silly. And to try and take control, I had to make them feel bad. That's who you are. That's what the guy you want to be. You're like, I don't want to be that
Yeah.
guy. Good. Now you can
And
choose.
yeah,
Now you
I
see it.
didn't quite lash out to him on him to make him feel bad. I stood my ground.
Well, anger isn't usually the calm one.
Right.
Anybody, I mean, maybe I've seen anger wrong. Is anger usually the calm one, guys? Whenever you guys are losing it, is that the calm version of us?
No.
No. So usually the anger is going to reveal something that's very unhealthy with us. But Mark, that's the benefit to this. Every single choice is revealed. And once we have the awareness of the choice of like, do you still want to be that guy or not? Now you get to pick.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of today's training is the choices are everywhere around us all the time. They're all around us. And
But
Mark, I think
also,
you're already making better choices, man. You're already like, damn, I don't think that one serves me as well.
yeah, that argument even happened just because these people realize that a difference in me. Like they know me pretty well, but they recognize a difference in me. So and they question it. You know,
Good.
they notice it and they question it, and it's unfortunate that they just
Let's
they
see.
have their perspective and it's
Let's
not a
see if
good
it's
one.
unfortunate, Mark. How did they question you? What was the thing that like was like, ooh, that's a little triggering? What's the way they questioned you?
I've been ignoring this man for months. He's my next door neighbor, and I have I have nothing good to say to him, so I just ignore him.
Yeah, but why is that different? What's that got to do with like you become different? What's that mean?
Um, well, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna play the game that he wants me to play. He wants me to be a shittier neighbor than he is, you know?
So he's trying to have like some neighbor feud so he can quicken himself. He's got some purpose by having an enemy or a rival or a competition, right?
Right. I don't like his hounds baying and barking at me every time I walk out my front door. So I confronted him and I tried to approach him respectfully numerous times just to try to sort that shit out. And
What was the
yeah,
respectful approach? Was it tell him to put his dogs back in his house or something?
yeah, asking him nicely to just like try to quiet him down,
Was it
offering to help like
was it a
finish his
request?
kennel and shit like that.
Was it a request or was it a demand?
From me.
Yeah, because if he doesn't do it, did it bother you?
Yeah, I mean I was just throwing ideas out. Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't ask did you throw ideas out. I said if he since he didn't do it, did that bother
oh,
you?
yes,
Were you really asking then?
probably not.
No, I'm telling you. Put your fucking dogs
Totally.
away, dude. I didn't ask. I said I asked
Yeah.
you nicely, but you can tell by my reaction, I wasn't
Yeah.
really asking. I was telling you.
Yeah. This is my home, man. I got nowhere else to fucking escape this. Like,
Are these bad dogs?
no, it's not the dog's fault.
Yeah, so I'm like wondering, like, cause like I think they just lose their mind when you what like I guess I don't understand the scope of this because I'm a dog guy, so I don't really
Right.
understand the scope of like what the issue
Yeah,
is.
I've got a dog. It's they're blue tick hounds, and so what their job is to bay and bark when they're threatened or when they smell. Their senses are heightened, so it's like they smell me coming outside, they hear me coming outside,
What's a better?
and
All right, here's your mission. I get it. Ooh, I know what dogs are. Okay, so
yeah,
here's your mission, man. How could you handle this in a cooler way? Because those dogs are doing their job and you just don't like it.
yeah,
What's a better way that you would handle it? That's just something for you to think about. Just game plan for yourself, write it out, think of different concepts because making a demand of your neighbor in the form of a request, that didn't work. Well, what do you
right.
think would be a better way to find like peace in this, even with these dogs? Just curious on what you come up with. Just want to challenge your mind side. Let's see how you can process. Here's a couple solutions I came up with, and then
Yeah,
bounce it off the Warriors and the Kings in here, and let's see what you get.
copy. Appreciate it, Rick.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you find, man. Very excited.
Thanks, man.
Good job. And good job catching those choices, man. It's fucking growing already. I love it.
Okay.
All right. Sean D. What do you got, Sean?
Trying to figure out how to get my camera on. For one sec. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There
You
we
got
go.
it. Yeah.
First of all, Rick, I just want to say thank you. A couple weeks ago on one of the trainings, you had asked me about do I love myself? And anyway, so I kind of went through that process, and I decided that if I really did, that I should quit drinking because that was something that I'd talk to you about. So it's almost 2 weeks since I had a drink. So just want to say
Good.
thank you for that motivation.
I got a question for you to write out, which is very
Okay.
good, by the way, that you're doing these choices. Do you know why you were drinking? You don't have to tell me, but write out. Do you know what hurt was in there that I needed to get away from? That's going to be the thing. Like, do you know what that is?
I went, and that was part of the process. I wrote down, like, what am I numbing? and
Mhm.
and there was multiple things in there,
Good.
and obviously, I just recognize that if I want to grow, like if I'm going to be in this program, I have to eliminate the things that are going to hold me back, and that was just an opportunity to escape from the shit that I'm trying to like learn from. You know?
You just got
Um,
stronger. Those are wiser thoughts, better decisions, better choices. You can
yeah,
see this goes against even the concept of liking yourself, and you're making choices that lean more into the version of me who actually cares about me, won't hurt me. You see you've leveled up already since we've met. Your choices are
100%.
different. Your awareness is different. Your decision making process is different. Things are different, and we are just at the beginning of our hike.
Even just that call, a couple Saturdays ago on respect. I was
Pretty
just cleaning the
badass.
apartment while I was listening to it, and anyways, just went off on a whole other exploration into that of like not just loving myself but respecting myself too, though, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the one thing I just wanted to ask right now, like years ago, is kind of I followed Tony Robbins and stuff, and he had like the power moves, right? I was just wondering if there's anything like that you have, so that like if it's just like rereading missions, like what's my mission, what's my goal, or if it's like visualizing on, if you had anything to recommend that, I am doing that. Like I'm trying to quit smoking right now too. So when I get the urge to smoke, I'll go and do push-ups and do squats, like you were saying before. But to like just to like get maybe like a quick injection of strength, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know about change your state. I know about change. Like, I know the power moves. I know those things. I got nothing against them too. If you have these tools, use them. So if you got like you're like yeah, like you got your power moves and you got your change your state or whatever you do. If you're doing any of that, that's not. They're all useful. These are all useful tools, and so there's nothing like that works. I've seen Tony Robbins and I've done the things with him. I've been at the convention hyping up with everybody else too. So like I know what his stuff is and it works. He's very good. That's the GOAT, man. Tony Robbins is fantastic. And so like use the tools that you get from that in tandem. I have Spartan philosophy on this side. I say we train, we practice, we know ourselves, we do the philosophy and the psychology, we know us, in which case you don't have to stop yourself from smoking if you're not a smoker. That's how I think. If you do not have an identity that I am Sean the smoker, I am Sean the drinker, no, you're fucking not. I don't do that. Not I can't do that. No, it's not a can't. I don't get in trouble. I don't because I choose my choices. And that's why I say there's only two kinds of men. You're either trained or untrained. Do you know you or not? Do you make choices that are authentic or don't you? Are you controlled by something or do you make the call? That's the kind of guys that we are. And so do cigarettes control you or do you make the call on that? I'm going to show you something cool, Sean. You're at home. You're in your underwear, enjoying your day, freedom. It's a good, beautiful day. Lovely, right? Ah, shit. I'm out of cigarettes. Okay, well, what do we have to do to get more cigarettes? Well, I better put some fucking clothes on, in which case I better pick which clothes I'm going to wear, put some clothes on. Then I got to find my shoes and put my shoes and socks on. Then I got to go find my wallet. I got to find my phone. I find my keys. And then I got to go to the door. I got to open the door, close the door, lock the door, close the screen door, walk to the car, go to the car, unlock the car, open the door on the car, get in the car, close the door to the car, put the keys in the ignition of the car, start the car. You're starting to see what I'm doing, right? I have a lot of steps that I'm doing. Then I got to put the car in gear. I got to reverse out, get into the road, drive. And every single stop sign, I have to stop and continue, stop, continue, lefts, rights, all the way until I get to the parking lot. I have to turn in the parking lot. Then I have to find a parking spot. Then I park the car. Then I put the car in park. Then I have to turn the car off. Then I undo my seatbelt. Then I open the door and then I walk out of the door. Then I close the door. Then I have to walk into the building. Then I have to go and stand in line. Then I have to make a choice. You're starting to see there's all of a sudden to get a pack of cigarettes is not one decision. It's hundreds of decisions that if any one of these you go, I'm not doing that one. You never got out of the car. You didn't put the key in the ignition. You didn't even open the door. You didn't go into the building. You didn't even turn into that parking lot. If you take any of these choices and alter it, you don't end up with cigarettes. It's not, I did one thing. I did hundreds of things to get these cigarettes, because then you got to buy the cigarettes and give money for cigarettes. Then you got to open them and pack them up. And then you got to pop them open. Then you got to choose one. And then you got to put it in your fucking face. And then you got to light that bitch. If you skip any of these steps, it doesn't work. You can see it's a series of decisions that you have to make. It's not just one choice. It's a series of choices. And this works in all our shit, guys. This is all our stuff. How aware are you of how many choices that you're making? That's why I say we make thousands a day. We don't even think about it. Go to work is not just one thing, because some of you are talented as fuck and doing amazing things all day at work. It's not just one thing. And so, Sean, the reason I bring that up is none of that is happening to you. You are the master of your decisions. You get to choose, which of these do I choose not to do? Which of these do I defy the choice? Which do I choose to change? Not because I can't have a cigarette or I can't have a drink, because I fucking don't. I choose that. This thing doesn't make me do anything. I choose I'm not smoking. I choose I'm not drinking. I choose that. Why? Because the thing that used to make me smoke and drink, I killed it, and it's not there anymore. That's my power. That's my power move.
My yes to quitting right now. I know, like when my ex-wife, when she got pregnant with our first kid, as soon as she found out she was pregnant, quit smoking, drinking, smoking weed, quit everything, and didn't even think twice about it.
Correct.
Because my reason for quitting was stronger than any reason to keep doing it, and that just reminded me that I do have the power to do that. I just have to have make that reason stronger than the excuses I'm telling myself as to why I can't.
You're right. If she can do that in a moment because something is compelling her, well, what thing compels you? Because you can do that too.
Yeah, like I said, I did. Like when she found out, like I quit, right? So it was like I did it before, so I know I can do it again. It's just making excuses for why I'm not,
cool.
Right?
So that's your fight. You are fighting excuses now. They're half truths, partial truths. There's some truth to it, but there's also bullshit in there. And your job is to become like a detective and go, where's the bullshit? Where's the bullshit? That's bullshit. That's the bullshit right there. No. That's not gonna, I'm not falling for that. The best lies are 95% true. So go find that 5%, detective.
Thanks, Rick.
You got this, dude. You're doing very well, by the way. We're at the beginning of our journey. You're already doing very well. Remember, it's not I can't smoke. I don't. You made the call. If you're 2 weeks out right now, there is no addiction anymore. It's decision. You have no more chemical addiction in your body. That's not happening. It's a mental or psychological thing now. This is being strong-minded, strong-willed, good choices, solid on yourself. You are not a victim, man. There's a commander in you. There is somebody in you who is worthy of saying, follow me. And people will go, I will. Where are you going?
Yeah.
That's who makes these choices.
And I know that. And I just have to start believing it again, because I've been there before. And
here's the choice, Sean. Here's the choice. Don't believe in yourself. Sell it to me. Why would you choose that one? Don't believe in you. Why would you choose that one? What's the benefits?
There's absolutely no benefit.
Then why choose that one?
Unless I want to hide.
But why? Well, if not believing in you gets you to hide from what? And what's the benefits?
Yeah, there is none.
Cool.
I mean, like,
why are you choosing a thing that has no benefits over one that you know does?
I think because I've convinced myself to only take one thing on at a time, or that it has to be stepped, or I don't want to take on too much. When that's just it's just bullshit. It's the excuses I was saying. I mean, if I can, and it was just I just made that decision to quit drinking, so I can do the same thing with quitting to smoke. You know what I mean? I can just say I'm I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke.
You're back in control again.
Mm.
I don't need to do that. Now replace smoking with something that you do. Like, I love working out. I love getting into, I'm a foodie and I love making delicious, good food, healthy food. Get into something that you love that replaces that habit with something that you are like, that moves me towards who I really am and not runs away from things I'm not.
Yeah. Exercise and writing are the two things I've been trying to. I've been writing like as much. I haven't written this much in years, and when I get the urge to have a smoke, like I said, just trying to replace it with a healthy activity, right?
Smart. Strong mind. Being strong is good, Sean.
I agree.
Good job. You're getting
All right.
stronger, man. I love watching you get tougher. It's like watching Casper doing fucking inclines in his computer chair. It's badass.
Thanks,
Well,
Rick.
well done, dude. Well done. All right, Thomas, I see you doing skull crushers. I don't know if you can go now or if this is something, because we got a couple new guys in here, so I want to make sure they got some things too. I know you're in the unit.
Thomas is crushing skulls.
I'll be quick about it. These are for chest exercises. If you keep your elbows tucked in and you go overhead and go behind, it'll actually stretch your inner pecs so you can get them to come back together and give you a better aesthetic profile. Anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to give the program props for any of the new guys who are looking into it and they're trying to check it out, see what's going on. This stuff works really well. As far as I've been getting into it, like getting better with my routine again, hitting the stuff every morning. Works well to give you like a purpose to waking up in the mornings and give you a focus outside of your bullshit and the excuses you want to create for yourself to not be the person you're trying to be. So, yeah.
Appreciate you. Hell yeah, dude. Way to
That's
get
my
'em.
soapbox preach.
Also, you want me to nerd out with you a little bit. Don't do them laying on your back unless your back is bothering you. The hard way is turn sideways on that bench, bro.
Yeah, well, I went to the hospital on Monday for my back.
Yeah, he's got a
Fair
back
enough.
problem between his C7.
Fair, you know what? Injuries, I get it. Fair enough, Thomas. Good job. All right, coming up next, the Mac Danny himself. What's up, brother? Let's get you on mute.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Doing good, man.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
What's the question of the day? How can I have you back?
The question of the day. Well, you might be teaching this in a different later, but I have to celebrate a win because I react a lot to my wife's and I've come to the conclusion recently that my wife thinks I'm the enemy. Okay. So I'm married with 2 kids, you know, but lately I've been not reacting to her I would, lack of a better word, vitriol and her criticism. And I feel like it's working better for my sanity, right? To just not react. It's not working as well for her sanity, but it's working better for my sanity. And I feel like it's making me a stronger person. But when I don't react as much like she wants me to, she's angry about it because, you know, she wants to fight. So, you know,
Let's get into some of your whys for it, just for a second. Why did she want to fight you? How did you become the enemy? You guys are supposed to love each other. How did you become enemy? When did that shift?
You know, I don't know. I think it's been our entire marriage, to be honest with you.
So you married an enemy?
I married someone who I loved very much, and I married a person who I fell in love with.
Why? If they hate you and they think you're an enemy.
It's because I was naive. I come from a passive type of upbringing, probably, you know. I look back and I look at my dad, rest in peace. Great guy, I love him, but I believe, you know, whenever something came up or whenever he spoke, he got interrupted and he would just forget, you know, he learned to just shut up because people, mainly his wife, wouldn't listen and she would just interrupt, you know, and she probably didn't mean it. Okay.
No,
So that's what,
I get the type. And so
yeah.
because he would just shut himself down, you became like dad in your relationship and then you married your mom.
I don't, at first I thought I married my dad because my
Oh,
dad was,
no, this woman doesn't shut up, so that's not it. There's no way.
yeah, right. Well, in terms of because he would get frustrated and angry, but he would also hold everything. He couldn't really express his emotions. So I felt like I married my dad in a way because she doesn't, because he never talked too much. He wasn't, I realized he wasn't able to, you know?
Sure. He was
And
scared of it.
so,
Yeah.
and she doesn't talk too much. She doesn't really talk. She doesn't get deep. I can't connect with her. And I just was stupid. That's all. I fell in love with this girl who showed herself, and I married a little too early in the relationship. And I didn't realize all the red flags that were happening. I just didn't.
Got it. And so let me ask you something really quickly. And this is something we do train later. How do you make a woman like that feel safe enough to not need to be in charge?
There we go. Good, good. Well, I need to take care of myself. I need to have an aura of confidence. I need to not be triggered as easily. I need to be I need to be someone who is a rock, right? Someone who doesn't.
Maybe not rock,
Okay,
because what feelings do rocks have?
no feelings, right?
Yeah, no, you don't have to be a rock. No. There's something stronger than a rock.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so
No,
foundation. Okay.
you're
So
doing good. We're gonna get you balanced out here
yeah,
because being a man, men blow rocks the fuck up. We smash
right.
rocks, bro. We're stronger
Yeah,
than rocks are.
yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
you have to be stronger than the rock. And so there's going to be something else that's there. There's a
Well, she
balance
tells me.
element.
Yeah.
We're going to get into this. We will get into all of your elements of you. So I do want to give you the reassurance that right now, being responsive over reactive, we do get deep into these conversations through this training. There are, and I will teach you elements of yourself that no one's ever had the conversation with. Like this, it's not taught in school. And we will have these trainings coming up. So I want to give you reassurance, but for right now, I want to get you to do something kind of cool. My wife and I, we did this too, where I would just listen to her and I'd get a notebook and I would just try and write down word for word as much as I can. Now, she's probably going to say mean shit and just write down the mean shit. Don't try not
Yeah.
to get triggered. Because remember, Mike
Right.
Tyson says that if you end up thinking that, somebody is your enemy in your house, like this, you guys are enemies and you get triggered, that's not your enemy. That's your master. Is she your master? I just want to make sure how you're
No.
doing. Okay. So
I
you
mean,
don't want her to be the
she-
master over you. The
no.
person who's not in
No.
control shouldn't control you, right?
Right.
Okay. So in which case she's going to say things. Now we are human and you're not trained to be able to handle just unloads. None of us are. There's a lot of training involved in that. And so in which case, try and take on as much as you can to write down like what her thoughts are until it's like, okay, that's my limit. Like I'll try again later. I gotta make sure I can process or takes this because let's be real, guys. We can only take so many "you're a piece of shit" sentences before it starts to bother you, right? Like we can
Oh,
only
yeah.
handle so many. Even I got about 5 or 6 in. I'm like, who the fuck are you even with then? Like I get triggered.
Right.
Like that's when
Right.
I'll get triggered. And so like at that point you go, okay, we got it. I gotta take a time out. Let me process some of these things. And then you bring that shit to your boys and go, what are these? What are this? What is this thing? So that way you don't have to process untrained. Because how does that gonna work? You got no new information. You're using old processors. So I need new info, new eyes. And that's something that we can do together and go, what is this? What is this? What is this? How do I handle that? How would I respond to that? How do I deal with this? And then we practice.
Yeah.
That's why together we're stronger because I've got guys in here who like each of us would see this from a different strength, mind, heart, body, spirit, and then be able to say, here's how you can approach it this way without having to give your power away to somebody who's not in control of themselves. There's better armor.
Totally better armor. Yeah.
Stronger mind, stronger heart, stronger spirit, stronger body. I'm not in danger. She can say mean things. And then at that point, you can start working on autonomy. You can start working on being disagreeable. And you can also start working on, I think I'm in an abusive relationship. I think it's important to know that I don't have to stay with you.
Right.
And
Right.
once I'm a real talk, if anybody's ever done this and go, you know that I can leave you and I will, you know that, right? I've seen these women shut the fuck up real quick because ironically, Danny, the reason people are mean is because you're safe to not hit back. Bullies don't stop hitting people who ball up. You guys know that, right? Bullies don't stop hitting you
Right.
when you're just a punching bag, but bullies don't like getting even scratched back.
Hmm.
They don't like any fight back. And it's
Yeah.
important too that bullies pick weak people.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's how bullies target. They choose somebody they believe is weak. That's how bullies
Right.
pick somebody. And if a guy is choosing you to bully, it's because they believe you're weak. Women, ironically, do social demolition and soul demolition. Do you know women target strong
Hmm.
because they need to break something strong down so that they
Yeah.
can win?
Yeah.
That's the way you're being attacked, is you're being bullied, but you
Exactly.
don't understand how that fight works. You do know
Right.
that you simply don't have to even acknowledge it and you start winning. The only
Right.
way that strategy works is if you submit.
There was one moment where I completely ignored her. It was half my choice and half because I was into something else. And she got a little more. She changed. Like, why are you ignoring me? And I don't know. I didn't take it too far. I've ignored her on a few occasions, and all of a sudden she changed and she looked at me in the eyes to kind of wonder, what is he actually thinking? Because it was probably a new behavior to her. And I made her think about something. I don't know what, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I noticed her behavior. What do you
Mhm.
think about that?
That's where your strength is. There's something that she needs. Most likely, she needs to feel heard or she needs to feel safe. And being able to get into that makes it so it's a safer thing. And going, hey, you don't have to be mean for me to see you, babe. If her need is I need to feel seen, or I need attention, or I need quality time with you, or I need, to feel heard, or I need to feel safe, whatever it is, you do know you don't have to be mean to me for me to be like there for you. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you can just stop it right there. Like, so I'm gonna tell you what, as long as you're not trying to call me names or be cruel and control, I'm happy to listen to you. But as soon as you start being an asshole, this conversation will just be over. I'm just gonna walk away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like Chris will tell you, then fucking do it. Like as soon as we're talking to Danny, if you and I are talking, and if I'm like, hey, dude, as soon as you start swearing, I'm gonna hang up, man. As soon as you start calling me names and shit, this conversation's over. And you go, you know what, man, you're being a fucking bitch, dude. I'll just be like, call over.
I did that last night. I've been working on that. And
Well,
I did that. I said, this conversation is over. Yeah.
no. I don't tell you it's over. I tell you what
Oh.
I'm going to do for me.
Uh-huh.
No, I will end the call for me. I don't need this shit. It's
Yeah.
not, you can go ahead and keep cussing at everybody. I don't give a fuck who you swear at. I don't care at all. I don't give a fuck. No cares. I just don't have to be there for it. I didn't tell you what to do. I told you what I'm going to do. We will get into boundary training, fellas. That is a section we will be doing. Because a lot of you guys have no idea what a boundary even is. Yeah, Anthony, I see you. Like, I don't even know what a boundary is. We will be teaching step by step how to do this. So that way, you can't take my power. I have to give it. Step by
Thank
step,
you.
Danny. Step by step, brother. You're doing better.
Thank you.
Good job. But silence seems to be golden in that fight.
I kind of feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. All right. My Spartan, Alex, what's up, bud?
Hey, thanks. I wanted to check in on the concept of sort of the perception of strength. At the beginning of this training, you mentioned, when people see strength, they don't like, we're talking about toxic masculinity and sort of what I call the doofus dad image,
yes,
where dads are just incapable of doing anything right. But I did want to check in on the concept of strength and specifically the difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yes.
Because I think what we're trying to accomplish here in this training, and what I hope to accomplish for myself, is confidence and that type of strength versus sort of an arrogant strength, which I would say is probably not authentic. But I just wanted to bring up that idea and see what your thoughts were on it.
Okay, first, let me honor you for bringing it right back to the topic of the day. So, fuck yeah. Thank you for this. I love that. And then this is a very good question. And we will have, especially if you're in Spartan training, we will have a lot of confidence conversations because there are steps to it. The very basic 3 before I get into the more advanced versions like posturing and tone. The very base 3 is courage, competency, and certainty. Those create confidence. And the big one where you're at right now is competency. Are you good at that or are you not? Do you know how to do it or you don't? That's trained or untrained. And so let's say I don't know, pick anything. Do you give me some skill that you know, a job you did or something like I know how to do that.
Build a website.
You know how to build a website. You've built websites, you've done plenty of websites, you understand the concept, the SEO, you know, all the shit. You understand it, right?
Yes.
Is that cocky or competency?
No, it's competency.
So that's not arrogance. And so the only thing that would make you arrogant is if I'm judgmental. Do you see how you actually have that skill? But if I don't like it, I'll just call you something bad without thinking or without measurement to make you feel bad about something you're good at. Calling you cocky or arrogant is just a judgment. It's not a fact.
Okay.
So the only way you then become bad at something that you actually know how to do is if I'm judgmental.
So part of where I'm coming from on this is, I guess, my perception of other people.
How do you judge?
Right. So that's where I was going to go. So in that case, if I'm looking at somebody and if I'm judging them as incompetent, then what they're presenting as confidence, I'm perceiving as arrogance.
Well, I don't know if somebody's giving a false persona and trying to sell. I'll give you one of the oldest sales pitches I've heard is I'm a good guy. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Let me tell you guys something. People who are good people don't have to sell it to you. Think about that. When somebody's trying to sell you how great they are at stuff, why? If you're really good at something, you don't have to sell me on it. If I've got a 250 average on my bowling league, I don't have to tell you how good of a bowler I am. Just come watch me throw a bunch of strikes. I don't have to sell you that I've got a 250 average and bring my paperwork to go, look how good I am. I'm like, play me. Loser pays for the games. I'm in. I don't have to be cocky. I can back it up. You can either do things or you can't do things, trained or untrained. And I don't give a flying fuck if somebody who doesn't understand has a judgment. Carl Jung says thinking is hard, or he says thinking is difficult, and that's why people judge. Catch the judgments, Alex. Just because somebody's judgmental doesn't mean that their opinion has any weight. It's just a judgment, just an opinion. And thinking is hard, so that's why people judge instead. Instead of understanding, man, how do websites work and how complicated is it and how competent are you at it? I'll just judge you instead and just say you're cocky or arrogant. So that way I feel good because you make yourself feel bad.
Okay. Thank you.
Doesn't that seem silly though when you say it out loud?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's how simple it is. All you have to simply do is choose not to agree. Okay. Yeah, you don't understand it. So why do I have to make myself feel worse because you don't understand something?
And to try and not get tripped up by that judgment, like, oh my gosh, they think I'm terrible.
So
well,
what happens if somebody just thinks something without thinking?
Nothing. If I don't pick up that rope, then
the only way they can have you feel bad is if you agree.
Right.
If you just go, okay, and then just go and do what you were going to do anyways, they get nothing. Nothing happens.
Okay.
That's how easy that is. You don't even have to fight that. There's nothing to fight.
So easy, I would say easy in concept, but that's why we do the training.
Correct.
Because personally, for me, in situations like that, and in particular with my I don't even know what my spouse, my wife, whatever she is at the moment, but yeah, there's a story behind it. Anyway,
I got you.
You know, you're an asshole, you're pathetic, you're whatever she's saying, and I'm like, no, I'm fucking not. Like, fuck you, and I jump back in. I'm like, no, and this is why, and trying to realize that just because she says that doesn't mean it's true.
Well, what's the intention of trying to hurt someone you love? And these are questions you can ask her. Is like, I can see you're trying to hurt me. And this is just for you guys to understand how I process on these things. The words that people say. So, Alex, I'll give you an example. If you and I are in this and you're talking to me the way your wife does, like, Rick, you're a fucking asshole. You're stupid. You don't understand shit. You're not that great. You're not funny. Like, whatever shit you say, like, make some stuff to judge. And my question would be, it's not really the words you're saying that hurt my feelings, but I can see your intention is to hurt my feelings. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to hurt me? If you love me and we're supposed to be a team, why is it that your intention is to do harm? Why are you trying to hurt? Because you can call me stupid. I'm fucking smart. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can call me weak. Dude, I'm fucking strong as fuck. You can call me like closed hearted. I got a very happy family of girls here. We love the shit out of each other. You can tell me I have weak faith. I know who I fucking work for. God and I talk every day. So I'm solid on my categories. You can't fuck with me. I know my shit. So it's not that you're hurting me from trying, like because you called me a name. It's what's your intention? Why are you even putting so much effort in trying to hurt me? Why are you trying to? You're not doing it, but I can see your intention is. Why do you want to hurt me so bad? That's where you have to find out, who am I talking to? It's not that she's effective at calling you an asshole, and that means it doesn't mean anything. You're not an asshole. You're just a guy, not an asshole. Stop. But your intention is to make me feel bad. Why do you make me feel bad? And remember, women attack strong to knock them down. Women, they ignore the weak ones. They'll just be mean behind their back. But they have to knock the strong one down, and you have to submit, or else it doesn't work. Because there's nothing there. She's not physically stronger than you. So any fist fight would not go in her favor. So she has to emotionally or spiritually tear you down. So that way you beat yourself. That's the only way to beat you. You're too fucking strong, dude. The only way to beat you is you beat you. That's it. That's the only choice you have to make is, am I going to let you win because I defeat myself? Or am I simply going to go, no? And that's a complete sentence. They can't beat you if you just say, yeah, no. Don't agree with you with that one. That's nonsense. But I can see you're trying to hurt people. That makes me keep my armor up against you. You want to hurt people. That shows how unhealthy they are, not how bad you are.
Okay.
I don't have to defend against that, because defending means you're in a fight. But if you just don't fight, you just saw how, like, if you don't fight, you just win. They can't do anything. And if she's gonna, I'll threaten to leave you. I'll be like, so you want me to, like, pack your bags? Which bags are yours that you want to take? You can't threaten me with that shit. Okay. Get your shit then. Because what am I fighting for if I'm with somebody who doesn't want to be with me? What am I fighting for?
Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Yeah. How much I'm going to try and convince you to stay if you don't want to? What's the point of that relationship? What would be the point of trying to convince somebody who doesn't want to be with you to stay? Can anybody sell me the idea? Somebody who doesn't want to be with you, they should stay with me. You want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Like, please sell it to me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong because we're We love the fuck out of each other. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Misery.
I want more misery. Is that what I want? Is that a good play? Anybody want more misery? Maybe I'm doing the group wrong. Maybe we should be getting more misery in the group. No, we don't want that. Alex, these are good questions. The choices are all the way through it. And just being able to understand how this works makes it so you make different choices. You simply win by not fighting because they're just swinging wildly. You don't have to walk into those hits. It's nonsense. If you said, hey, Rick, you're an asshole, I'd go, yeah, sometimes.
I think the very imagery of not walking into that punch is very strong for me right now.
Yeah. You do know you can like dodge and block. There's all kinds of options, dude.
Right. You don't have to run headlong into it and be like, okay, gotcha.
You see it. You see it. The reason we have to train like this before you get into those arguments or those fights is because Spartan Creed says, he who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. So we practice here. And then when those fights happen, I'm not taking hits anymore.
Yeah.
We start this with next week, man, right?
Yeah. Next Saturday.
My dude. I'm excited.
Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, Alex. All right. Speaking of starting head coach, Chris, what do you got?
I wanted to jump back in on the difference between arrogance and confidence, because I think that was something that was really, really good to really define exactly the difference between the two. And so just like my 2 cents on that is confidence is internal, arrogance is external. If you have confidence, you have confidence in your abilities. You have a belief that your abilities are strong, that you know what it is that you're doing. That does not require anything from anybody else. Arrogance is whenever you believe you have a superiority to those that are around you. And if you think you have a superiority to those around you, you're automatically judging where it is that they are at. That's where that biggest difference is do we have a belief in our own abilities and our own strengths, or are we knocking down other abilities so that way we can feel superior?
I love it. Self-confidence comes from competency, but arrogance comes from judgment. Hell yeah, dude. Well said, dude. Well said. Especially if we're the arrogant one and I'm judging everyone else as being inferior. If you're really strong, I don't have to do these comparisons. Good people don't have to sell it. Strong people don't have to sell it. You don't have to sell it. Be it. I think that's Marcus Aurelius. He's like, don't argue about what a good man is. Be one. All right. Lever Bobby, Justin. We're already 22 longer than I meant to go in the first place. What do you got?
Did you say me? I'm sorry. I got my 3-year-old guy
Yeah,
talking.
man. Listen, did
Good
cutting the mullet mess up your hearing? Where you at, bro?
No, I got my 3-year-old asking me about things. I got my 3-year-old asking me about things. I'm on a call. I will be off in a moment. Yeah. Okay. So I'm Will for the day. Yeah. No. I wanted to jump back onto obviously choices and everything like that, and obviously judgments being brought in, and we recognize what it feels to be judged, and there's a lot of commentary in down below about judging others, and I think that the awareness piece of that judgment and to make a choice to not judge is super important, and the day to day, and recognizing where those judgments are coming from. And we're talking about arrogance and judging that somebody is being arrogant and all of those things. Mm-hmm. Recognizing that, the awareness of, and then making the choice to not.
It's all right. This is, maybe you guys can pull me back. Chris, pull me back if this gets too advanced. It's impossible to not judge, but the way you judge reveals your health.
I agree.
And so, like, if I said, dude, I love the way you're looking. You look handsome as fuck right now. That's a judgment, but it comes from a place that I'm very confident in myself to be able to say, I'm going to build up my brother. That's a judgment still, but it's used for good. But if I judged and go like, oh, you just think you're so much better than everybody else, well, that shows how unhealthy I am. That shows that I'm not good. And so the judgment you said is the awareness of how healthy or unhealthy another person is. You'll see by the way they judge. And so the more negative I am in my assessments or judgments of others will show how unhealthy I am as a person, especially when it comes to social demolition as a point of connection. And what I mean by that is people who gossip, talk behind each other's backs, two-faced, they're shady in their behavior, they're Machiavellian in their way they manipulate. People who use social demolition, like, oh, you fucking see Greg, he thinks he's so great, right? He's not great, he's stupid, and just talk behind somebody's back in just a really judgmental or negative way actually shows how unhealthy I am, not how bad you are.
Right.
And so the judgments are also still there in a positive, like, dude, I'm so proud of you. I'm judging and I've assessed that I love what you're doing. Hey, I believe in you. I've judged you and I've measured you, and I think you're capable and competent of doing it. Those are still judgments. We can't not judge. The concept of no blame, no shame, no judgment is don't use it as a weapon to hurt or control others. But we're always judging because there's things like, I love that food more than this food. That's still a judgment. So it's being able to say, like, there's always a judgment. It's just, do we use it for good or bad? Are you trained or untrained? Am I confident or not confident in the way that I try to build others up, or do I use judgment to tear others down? And that really shows us to us. And that's where it is a little more advanced to say, is it possible to be completely without judgment? Well, judgment isn't necessarily bad. It's simply an assessment, but the way we use it will reveal how unhealthy we are with that tool, if you will.
I agree 100%. I think that I was trying to correlate the topic of choices, the awareness that we have a choice in that moment to not judge in the negative
and use it for positive.
And use it instead for positivity.
That's the choice. Do I use judgment to build and encourage and to love and to connect? Or do I use judgment to hate, destroy, gossip, and connect? Because it's a connector either way. And what it shows is, it shows, where do you connect? Do you connect through good, or do you connect through bad, which is technically a judgment also? But which connector point are you actually using to say, that's where my health is for people I have in my life? That's why you see a lot of girls, as soon as they stop being hyper agreeable to the matriarch, who is generally a very fucking mean girl, as soon as they go, I don't think that it's good to be so mean behind people's back, then they're mean behind your back. That's their connector point, is unhealthiness. And it shows how unhealthy they are. But good people build people up, where bad people get more from tearing people down. Shows how unhealthy they are. And this is where I'm going to teach you guys how to catch the magician, not fall for the magic trick. So it's a good point. It gets more advanced. We do get into that later, guys. Maybe it's me just jumping ahead a little bit. All right, Bobby, then Justin, and then we got to bounce, fellas. Thanks, Danny.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. First off, I wasn't trying to take off my mute over and over again. I'm getting downpoured on today, and so it's messing up.
Bobby, do a public apology for an accident. Go ahead and tell everyone how sorry you are.
Hey, I just know I was interrupting.
You're good. We would have muted you if it got out of control. I would have helped. I would have taken care of
it. I'm getting downpoured on over here.
You're good. What do you got?
Well, Chris, and you guys actually pretty much already answered it, because his way was way more smarter of the explanation, because mine was more of a judgment, I guess. Now that the way you've broken it down, because I was going to say that the confident people are like the way you said. I don't have to tell people that I'm confident. That if the bowling score was 250, I don't have to tell you. I'll just show you. Whereas the arrogant people are dicks about it.
It can be.
Hey,
Well,
Chris.
Greg's
Wait,
also
Chris,
been
way
with me
better.
for over a year, so like we've trained through hell together. So like it's just we've got more time together. With give me a year with you, Bobby, you'll be speaking very differently.
I hope so. I'm working towards that. I want it. So
Yeah, no, he's just got more training, so he's not. It's not like because when he started off, he wasn't speaking as clearly as he is now. He's well trained.
gotcha.
You probably wouldn't recognize that guy from like 2 years ago. You wouldn't even know that one is a different guy. So we're all on this journey, man. We keep just getting higher and higher in our growth, and so good observation. Hear that compliment, Greg? You hear that? Well done.
Thanks.
All right, Justin, close me out, brother. Which choices are we bringing up?
Yo, I had to reiterate for any of the nice guys out there, something that you kind of, well, you touched on, but you kind of flew right by, and it was just so fucking good and powerful. For any nice guys out there, please internalize that thought that Rick said, which is, I do not give a flying fuck about an opinion or a judgment of untrained people. If you can internalize that and go out there, man, it is going to do you so fucking good. It's like Rick said so many times too. It's like someone calling, I'm 6'1". It's like someone calling me short. It wouldn't faze me. I don't give a fuck. And so, yeah, just what's the intent behind it? And just really try to internalize that thought of, I do not give a flying fuck about an opinion or a judgment from untrained people. You guys are here. You're putting in the fucking work today. You're fucking training yourselves. So for any of the nice guys, I just really hope you hear that part.
So good. Justin, your confidence has gotten so high. Again, another 2 years ago, that guy was a broke dick dog. He was fighting alcohol addiction. He was in an unhealthy, toxic relationship where he was the fucking just booted all day long. He had no confidence. He was walked over by his family. The guy who just spoke, he speaks warrior now. Also, he trains jujitsu all the time. He'll wrap you up. He's choked out big dudes. And like, so he knows his shit now. But if the confidence he's speaking with, I'm so proud of you, dude. You are doing so well. You started your business. You're out of a toxic relationship. You don't drink anymore. You train every day and you believe in yourself. You are a very different human than when I met you.
Fuck yeah, brother. I love you, man.
Love you back. Good job, warrior. All right, closing this thing out. Casper, how's your drawings going? I want to see your artwork. Where's your artwork, man? I got a mission for you too. I want to see your artwork. I want you drawing again. Let me see what you got.
So I did go out. I bought everything. I just started a new job at work that's been fucking up my hands and kind of making them numb.
What job is that?
Essentially, so I work on
jerking everybody off. Like,
kind of. So I'm under a bus when I'm working. So I'm on a creeper and reaching up, and they switched me from a job where I'm just kind of like putting nuts on bolts and tightening them, which was like kind of hard. But now the bolts that I'm working with are about yay big. And so the tool I had, the tool I had broke. And so instead of being a lever about this long where I could hold it while I'm tightening in the bolt, it broke and it's about half as long. So the vibration's just going crazy. So my hands have been fucked up and numb for a bit. I got a new one this last Monday, so I've been doing well. But those are just excuses. But essentially, I haven't drawn anything yet. But I do plan on getting into it this week.
All right. First off, is anybody else's 13-year-old going crazy with the explanation Casper just said for his job? Like he's like, so I used to play with the nuts, but now I don't do the nuts anymore. So now I just got the thing that's like this, and my hand is just shaking all day, and my hands are numb, and like I'm just trying to really get these bolts, and I got to hold the short one now, not the long one. And is anybody else's 13-year-old having a hard time?
Got to grab it by the shaft.
And the shaft, I just shake the shit out of it until my hand goes, until I get the sleeper here.
Twist and turn.
Yeah. Anyways, Casper, that was just funny.
Back all day, fondling nuts.
Yeah. It's like my nuts are different, so now I got to work harder for the nut to stay. It's
Well,
just
hey, not to interrupt, but Casper, if you do art, show me your stuff because I just found Humble Bundle is doing the Coral Draw and Coral Painter for like 2023 and all the like the digital painting and drawing apps now, and they're only like $30, and you can get the bundle, and it's like $1,000 deal.
All right. I don't have any like digital artwork stuff. I don't have like a tablet or anything like that that I can mess with. I may end up getting it later down the road, but right now I'm just sticking to
Casper, do
simple
some-
games.
Well, grab the deal because it's lifetime, and you can use that for later when you can afford a tablet. That's all. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if he gets there, but first off, Casper, you got your stuff that you have.
Yeah.
Draw anything. I don't care if it's shaky hands and stuff. I don't care. Draw anything. I just want to see your style because my daughter wants to get her first tattoo. She has an idea, and if you got some good art style, I might have you help design her tattoo.
All right.
It's a very classy thing, so it's not like trashy shit. We have smart
Yeah.
girls. But it's kind of a cool thing. She wants it very simple. She wants black and white, very simple. And let's see what kind of artwork you can do. And maybe I got a very cool thing that can immortalize something very awesome and one of my pack.
All right. All right.
Cool. Awesome, brother. Yeah, I believe in you, man. I want to see you do this. And also, how heavy were those fucking weights? 'Cause I was worried about your chair not
They're
doing it.
they're only 52s.
50
So they're only about
so-
52 pounds a piece.
Okay, so you're doing 100-pound incline on
Yeah.
your computer chair. I'm surprised that chair didn't snap on you, bro.
I do have to like focus a bit on abs to like keep myself up, otherwise it
That
leans
chair-
back.
Yeah, that chair will
Yeah.
be smoked. Man, we gotta
Yeah.
get you a workout bench. That's good. That's a
Yeah.
good press though, man. Inclines at 50s. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, warriors. Remember, strength is good. Mind, heart, body, spirit. Go in on your strong side. Choices are everywhere, and making small decisions lead to big changes. So, this is our superpower. This is the greatest gift that you guys have. And I'm looking forward to training with more of you guys. Crown and Shield stuff. This will not be posted like it was today. From now on, I will have a link section for only the guys who have access. If you do not have access to this, it will be in Crown and Shield. Sign up. Make sure you guys have it. It's 20 freaking bucks a week right now. So get signed up so that way you guys, when we jump it up to 25, which we will, you guys have a permanent discount, and then we keep training. So every single week, I will be going through, like I showed you guys, and I'm just going to reiterate how many trainings I put together for this. Where is it? That's book. Here we go. We have all these trainings. Today was the greatest ability. Then we got authenticity. We got default program. Then we're going to get into warrior types, your hero's journey, armor. We're going to get into awareness training, balance. We're going to get into building chimera and outlets. We're going to learn all kinds of stuff about you guys and get into all these different things. I have a lot of training set up: anger, doubt, depression, denial, distractions, fear, bargaining, anxiety. We're going to go through difficult conversations on what you've got, manifesting, potential. What do you guys want? Belief systems, how to fight and how to kill. I'm going to be teaching a lot of things over this year. So if you guys are not plugged in, I will not be going back. You will have missed the training. And so if you're missing some of them, it's going to be like, yeah, probably next year when I start this back up and start back at the top again, then you'll catch it. So get involved if you're not involved. For all you guys who already are, I just want you guys to know I have a strategy and a plan for you guys. Stick around and it will get better. Gerald, we have options for shield mates. So reach out to admin, reach out in this. I am going to figure out a way to make it. So if you guys want the information I have here, I have had people try to steal my shit. So I'll have to make it priced accordingly to make it so bullshitters aren't the ones who get it. Any case, I'll work on that stuff with you guys and figure out a way to make it work. It's more about commitment than it is about money. So I need you guys to have a skin in the game that we can justify spending a lot of time with you personally. But we do have mentors and shield mates who will help walk you through stuff, especially if you're jammed. And a lot of them are in this room right now. All right, warriors. Good to see you guys. And next one, you guys got JR Harvey coming up. He'll be doing the next training with you guys. So don't miss JR's because he's going to be giving you a totally different point of view on how to be able to train to make it so your strength and your choices are even better. All right, warriors, go dominate. Hi.
And on that note, be the inspector of your own bullshit. Like and subscribe.